one problem with that we are manually assigning the values to the variable. So here comes the next question. How to get input from the user? It's pretty simple. Since we want to take the input, Python provides you with an inbuilt method called input. Let's just open our Python notebook and we are going to do the same as previous one. We are going to initialize the variable a with input, variable b with input, variable c with input. Press shift and you can provide values like for a I am providing 12, for b I am providing 12.2, and for c I am providing hello. It has been compiled. So let's just print out these values. Print a, b, and c. You can pretty much see the outputs. We did provide the variables with the input, but how to keep track of which variable is taking which value? Let's just try a different approach. We are gonna provide a label to each input. So to provide a label, what you need to do is to specify a string inside the input method. Like here, I am defining a. Here I am defining b. And here I am defining c. Let's just run it. Now you can see we had a variable a and then we had a box. We can enter the same value 12. For b we can enter 12.2 and for c we can type in hello. Well, now it's more simplified version of the input method. Python also provides you with a unique built-in function called type, which is used to identify the data type of the different variables. So let's just try it out. You need to write type a. When you press enter, you see str. Str means string. Type of b, string. Type of c. Well, there is a twist to that. The value of a should be integer, the type of b should be float, and the type of c should be string. Here's a point to be noted. When you are using the input method, then it's going to take everything you provided to the variable as a string. So that means we need to explicitly convert the string to the integer or the float value. To convert the data types of a and b, there is a simple addition to the same function, input function that we used previous. How we can do that? You need to type in int and then you need to type in input. Then you can write the label. Then we have to provide it with float and we need to take the input. We provide the label b. And for c, we can use str. Even if you don't use the str, the by default value c is gonna take is string. So you don't need not to worry about it. When you just end it, now we can enter the values. A 12, B 12.2, C as hello. It has been compiled. So let's just check the type of A, B, and C. So we are gonna print type of A, type of B, and type of C. And what you can see, now you can see that the default data type of A is integer, type B float, and type C as string. It's time to put our knowledge into the practical work. Here is your task 1. We have learned how to initialize the variable and we also learned how to take input from the user. Now the task would be to take two numbers from the user and you need to swap those numbers. Let's say I have an variable a that has value 12 and b with a value 15. Now you had to write a script, a code, so that A has a value of 15, whereas B has a value of 12. Just think about it for a bit. Have you thought of the solution of the task? Well, let me help you. The traditional approach would be using a third variable that can store a value of A for a time being when we copy the value of B into A. And then we can use that temporary variable to provide the value to the B. It would be very easy, right? Let's just implement it. So the first thing that you need to do is to take the input from the user. Since these are whole numbers, so you need to keep in mind the data type must be an integer. So we provide x equals int input, we provide a label for x. Then we provide y equals int input, and then we provide with a label y. And when I press shift and enter, we can provide the value of x as 12, y as 15. Now, here comes the main part. It's time to swap the values. We need to create a variable temp which is equals x. Then we need to change the value of x to y. Now we need to put the value of x in y, but we cannot override it via x because the x has been assigned the value of y. So that's why we created a variable temp. So we need to do is y equals temp. It has been compiled. Now let's print out the values x and y. And you can see here we have the values as 12 and 15, and now we have the values 15 and 12. It's very basic approach. Let's just raise our level. Python can directly help you swap the numbers if you could write it as x comma y equals y comma x. Let's just take the input for once again. X as 12, y as 15. Now, if I print out those values, these are 12 and 15. When I did that, now I am about to print x and y. Well, it has been changed. It's because Python provides you with such flexibility, right? Alright, now moving to the next step. We can do all of this in a single line of code. We are going to compile it in just 2 lines. Let's just see that approach. We are going to provide x and y as int input with a variable x, comma, int input and the variable y, right? Now you can do this x comma y equals y comma x, and then you can print the value of x comma y. But let's just print the values here as well. Print x comma y. Now if I run it, you can provide the values of x as anything like 12, y as 15. Now you can see that before this operation we has 12 and 15, and after this operation we has 15 and 12. Pretty simple, right?